We have a choice here to really step up and own what it is that we're here to say, how we're here to make an impact, and how we're here to give. So the three resistors are, I'm not good enough, and who am I to wish this, want this, feel this. The second is the idea that no one will care. Who cares what I have to say? And how will I support myself? How will I financially be able to take care of myself when I'm living my heart's message, or, I'm stepping into who I'm meant to be? And it plays with our belonging, it plays with our safety, and that plays with our security. So of course, that's the most freaking scariest thing ever, to step out. What do you mean step out? I need to stay safe and secure, and I need to belong somewhere. I'm in the middle of this right now. I was suffering just a few weeks ago with some crippling anxiety. And it's happened 3 times in my life where I feel like I can't breathe and I can't get enough air and I think I'm dying, literally gonna die. And I'm like, I haven't said what I need to say yet. I don't even know what I need to say, but I'm not ready to go. Please don't take me, and I get a little crazy, right? And a little bit of GABA, a little bit of yoga, and a lot of meditation brought me back. And what I've realized through this experience, because it's traumatic, it's like going through the darkness, is that I am dying. There is a part of me that's dying, and a new me is ready to emerge. And so this is the me that I'd like to share with you today. Before I do, though, I want to talk a little bit about how I grew up. So when I was a kid, I always performed and acted. I was totally cool with that. If I had to put on a show, I loved lip syncing for the locals, if I could get on the local stage, or, I was happy to be in theater and play a version of myself in that. And then in my 20s, I realized that I actually didn't want to play a role of someone else. I actually wanted to be me. I was really interested in how could I get a career being who I am, who I was at the time. And to me, that looked like being a reporter or a journalist, or best, a TV show host, where I could just kind of show up and do the Adera. So it was actually quite cool. I got to do that a lot. So I had 3 TV shows. It started with this stupid little show I made at 19 called Get Out, which led to a 10-year experience of working on cruise ships as cruise staff, they call it. So I'm there to really party and make sure people are having a good time. I ran across Canada with the Coca-Cola Olympic Torch Relay. I had the jobs with Novus TV and travel TV show. And that all led up to the biggest dream of mine coming true, which was to have my own TV show. It was called The Go-To Gal. I had 7 episodes. I was the executive producer, and I was the host of the show, and it was like I had reached the pinnacle of my life. This was it. I was 30, and I did it. And then I was like, this isn't it either. This isn't it either. So what the hell is it? So I started a video company. I met my awesome now husband, who's filming me right now. Thank you, darling. During that process, I went through a whole self-love journey prior to actually getting my own TV show. There was some work there that had to be done to get me to that point. Then Ryan came along, and he had the amazing abilities of editing and video and all the things that I didn't know how to do, where I knew how to do the marketing and the front end of the video. And we said, why don't we own a video company? Why don't we do that? Why don't we just get wild? And we did. And so we've been successful at doing this full time for 5 years together. And it's been a ride. We have filmed thousands of videos. We've traveled to Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Mexico, and we've told some beautiful stories. And when I say video, it's really, we're a storytelling company. We love to bring good brands and good people to life. That's really fueled us and has been a huge passion of mine throughout my career. Again, now, in this exact moment, with the anxiety that hit me just 2 weeks ago, I was like, this isn't it either. This isn't it either. So what the fuck is it? And I realized that I was hiding a part of myself. I publicly never ever really showed that I was spiritual. So my friends knew that about me, and people that I was close to or was interested in that kind of conversation would know that about me. But I wouldn't necessarily wear my mala beads and like be talking about the book I read and the thing that I did and the insight I had necessarily so much. And that was such a big part of my life. I was very lucky that I was introduced to self-awareness and self-expression and meditation and ceremony and gatherings at a very young age. I remember being 7 years old in Mexico with my mom, brought me down with one of their groups, and there was this beautiful opening and sharing and receiving, and I was like, this is beautiful. I'm like, can life be like this? Just where people are so respectful of the earth and of love and looking so hard to create change and bring on this beauty in the world. I'm like, this is so awesome. So of course, the Eckhart Tolle, the Deepak, I've read them all, you know, like always. And I never let that piece of me ever play a role in my career because I didn't know how I was going to make money doing it. I had no idea. Spiritual broke, you know, hippie and broke, or successful business agency, you know, here we go. But I had a breakdown. And so what I learned through this is I'm ready to incorporate this part of me into the world. I don't know what it's going to look like. It freaks the shit out of me. And I don't know who is going to drop me as friends, not resonate with what I'm saying, and, you know, just totally, I don't know, like, I feel like my whole world's kind of unstable right now. But I have to do it. So I'm hoping that you'll all be willing, if you feel it, to participate with me as I share with you a bit of my light in hope that I can help spark the light in you through a little bit of my Kundalini warm-up exercise. And I have another little inner exercise that I'd like to do with you, if you're into that. Okay. I'd love if you'd be willing to just close your eyes, and maybe if you need to, plant your feet on the ground. I'm going to get you to write some things down. You're going to need a pen or paper or your phone out in notes, because I'm just really curious to see what comes up for you here. And you're going to take just a deep breath, maybe close your eyes and take a deep breath. And I'd want you to just think of a time back when you were really little. You were really, really cute and little, and you were doing something that really lit you up. Like really, really made you so happy. So the questions I'd like you to answer are, what was the feeling? What were you doing? How were you being? And who were you with? Okay, then I want you to go back inside again and think of a time when you were an adult and you were so in your element or so in your zone. Again, what were you feeling? What were you doing? How were you being? And who were you with? I know this is super like, get into it. Just go there. Okay, then I want to know if you see any similarities. And then I'd like you to write the phrase on your piece of paper. I feel most, whatever that feeling is that you got there. When I am, what's the doing that you got there? Then the word being, what was the being you got there? With, who were you with? Now, I'd love for you just quickly to take your guard down, or like Brene Brown likes to say, shed the armor, and just, if you feel comfortable, just to go around the table and just say these words that you wrote. I feel most, what's the feeling, when I am doing, and being with who. And I just would love the other women just to acknowledge that in you, that that is something that your heart call is here asking you to show up more as, and that we can see that. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my light with you.